Do you feel it? A new moon. I feel it. This new moon energy already. Okay. How are y'all feeling in this new moon? I know, I'm so excited. I love it. Hello. Shifting gears a little bit. Very excited to explore these new moon themes through the lens of this new moon pull. So, we have a new cycle starting, which certainly means, well, it's a new cycle and then it's a new cycle. It's like that new cycle. This probably feels like a huge shift, or at least like it's inviting a huge shift that will come to fruition over the next days, weeks, months. We certainly know that we're now finally done with some major retrogrades, and tomorrow Uranus will be the last planet to station. And then we'll have a glorious few weeks where no one is retrograde, and things will begin to right themselves, or rather we will begin to right things, to correct things that we've noticed are a bit awry in retrograde, and we'll start to begin to move forward. I'm sure all of you have seen that this is Saturn's final new moon in domicile. So this is our last in Aquarius with Saturn here for, I think I just saw someone else post that it will be like 2052, which is just really a time I can't even think about right now. I really can't I can't think about 2050 right now. That seems wild. But we can certainly take some of that shock and some of that disbelief and think about what we are very seriously putting into motion at this time, or what we are consciously building into our foundation. Our foundation. Maybe you're frowning. Saturn can frown. Building into our foundation moving forward. Where will you be in 2050? What a great question. I have Jetsons images in my mind. Like we'll all be in a space station. So kind of wild to think about, and yet kind of a wild invitation to get really inventive, Aquarius style, about what kind of world we see ourselves living in the future, and what we in the current moment, in the present, have learned about our environment and ourselves, and how we want to crystallize some of what we've learned within ourselves moving forward. So, very nice little conversation with Jupiter happening with this moon, a nice little sextile. And so we know that there's a little bit of maybe like magic being invited into this moon, a little bit of hope, a little bit of passion being sort of injected into the vibes for today. So, we will pull some cards. And next week at the first quarter moon, we will kind of check back on the cards that we pulled for today and see how the themes that we see today are beginning to take shape at the first quarter moon. So, stay tuned. We do this every week. And at the end, we culminate. Oh, here's my cat. Yep. Say hi to my cat. Yeah, Jasper. Thank you. Oh, how lovely. Thank you so much for that. He just blessed us with his presence. Okay, so for this new moon, we're looking at a cycle that begins for us now. What has been cleared away to allow for this shift? What this new cycle may look like as it unfolds. And lastly, how we can ground our ideas and intentions now. So, let's go ahead and take a look at that. So, oh, fun. Interesting themes here. Okay. So, we've got 2 major arcana cards in this poll today, so we can tell we're moving into something big. Something big is beginning with this cycle, and we also know that this year has many larger energetic shifts happening. So it makes sense that we would see some major arcana cards show up. So, a cycle that begins for us now is the Fool. Take it in, because this is the entire universe. This is the whole thing, theoretically speaking. So, a new cycle that begins now. We are beginning the Fool's journey. We are at the very beginning of the major arcana, which is pretty dope to think about. I think a lot of us feel that these mercurial and Martian retrogrades that have happened in tandem have really reset us as people. In New Tapes today, we talked about having knives out and how we sort of cut away some things that were no longer needed or that were holding us back. Maybe we cut away some things that we want to repair, and that's okay. But for all intents and purposes, we are kind of coming out of the gate fresh. We are new creatures. We are at the very beginning of this journey, and so we are invited to consider what we're leaping into. Consider what's worth it for us to leap into. Perhaps we are less of a pure fool in that we have learned some lessons. Otherwise, Saturn has not accomplished anything. So we've learned some things. And I think we have a better lens now of how to approach the themes of the Fool from a more conscious place, from a more shared experience. Jasper, what are you doing? Hold on a second. Oh my goodness. Come here. Yeah. Okay. So, then looking at what has been cleared away to allow for this shift, we have the 10 of Pentacles, and that's maybe contradictory. The 10 is usually something we want to bring in, or we want to attract, but I love the idea that we've shifted away perhaps from some maybe visions of what is ideal, visions of the future. Let me just, yeah, okay. So, we've cleared away perhaps some expectations. That's kind of what I see with the 10 of Pentacles in terms of something we've cleared away to allow for a shift. And I also love the contrast of seeing the Fool at the beginning of a journey and the 10, the end of a journey. So we're ready to start over because we've cleared away maybe what we thought was going to be. Maybe we expected or hoped for some sort of outcome. Maybe we had a specific idea of what this 10 would look like, of what reaching the end of a Pentacles journey would feel like. Maybe we had a particular vision of what sharing that with others would culminate as, and perhaps that did not manifest. Perhaps that did not come to fruition. Perhaps our values have changed around what the end line looks like. We've cleared away some old ideals about how the 10 should look and feel. Maybe we recognize that they were not actually helpful to us. They were from an older version of us. They were rooted in something false. So we've cleared away whatever idea we've had about finality, about kind of making it, if you will. And that's cleared us up to start over. That's pretty fun. What this new cycle may look like as it unfolds. Interesting. We have the 6 of Cups reversed. This tends to be a card about nostalgia sometimes. Excellent. I'm so glad to hear that. So this tends to be maybe a period where we are called to look fondly on the past and reminisce about how things used to be. It's also a card of maybe envisioning what it looks like to rebuild with our community. That's the perspective that I've gained from Karina, formerly of Rise Up Good Witch. And there's a lot of collective envisionment here, kind of taking the scraps of what has been and figuring out how to build in solidarity. So in reversal, it's interesting to think about how this is going to unfold, or what we're going to see as it unfolds, how this is going to look to us. Perhaps we are able to step out of idealizing what we want to create with community and begin moving toward it. Or perhaps in the vein of this 10, perhaps we've also, or will be, releasing some ideals about what that community care looks like. Going back to that first thought about reminiscing in the 6, perhaps we find ourselves now letting go of the past. We no longer need to look back into some of those nostalgic times. We no longer idealize. What that means for you might be different from what it means for someone else. But we will start to see some maybe pull away from either some, again, in the vein of the 10, kind of pulling away from some vision that we had, pulling away from some ideal. And again, starting over. So this may be us saying like, oh, yeah, you know what, that wasn't going to work that way. Or, you know, I thought it was important that it looked like this, but actually I have some new kind of intuitions coming in. And I say intuitions specifically because this is cups. Pentacles is very tangible, it's very earth. Cups is our emotions, right? So maybe we've let go of ideas of tangible success, and that will be followed by releasing ideals of emotional success, whatever that means for you. But perhaps we're ready to step out of the past. We're like, okay, you know, there are some things I appreciated about that time, but I no longer need to go in there. I've gotten what I need to get from there. I like that. Okay. How we can ground our ideas and intentions now. Another reversal, and our other major arcana card. We have the Hermit reversed. Again, so interesting. I take this as an invitation to come out of our shells a bit. In the upright, we are taking time to go within. We are leaving behind the tangible realm and stepping into our sort of subconscious space, stepping into our kind of Virgo workspace, our little secret cave, and tuning into the messages within. So with this in reverse, we've probably been doing a lot of that with the retrograde period. We've probably been ruminating on ourselves and spending time in this private cave, whether we wanted to or not. We've been in there. We've been tuning in to the inner things, and we're kind of ready to come out. We're ready to step out of this, to reconnect with people, to share the wisdom that we've acquired by going within for this period of time. And so that is a way that we can ground these intentions and these ideas now. I am starting over. I'm ready to jump into something. I'm looking at the whole universe. I've learned a lot about jumping in, so I'm going to do it with more structure and responsibility. I'm really letting go of previous tangible notions of maybe wealth or success or whatever making it is for me. Whatever I thought the end goal was, I've let go of that because it wasn't really for me, or it wasn't tangible in my current life, or it wasn't valuable to me anymore. As this new cycle unfolds, I may see myself separating from reflecting on the past in some way, and in that sense, these cards feel related. I've done the reflecting. I've done the looking back on the past. I've done the nostalgic search, and I have released the need to do that, or I've reconciled some old feelings. I've reconciled some old emotional parts of me, or I'm letting go of visions or ideas of success, and that also means that I'm releasing my expectations for what community can look like, and I'm getting new ideas. I'm letting go of that as this unfolds and as I jump into new things. And how we can ground our intentions and ideas now. Stepping out. Come out of the cave. Come re-emerge yourself into the world. Share some of these lessons that you've learned in this time of inner introspection. There we go. Come outside. Come say hi. So I love this. This is a very, this poll makes so much sense to me. We have to step out of the cave that we've been in order to jump in and start over. So we've done this work. We've done this inner reflection. We've done all of these reconciliations of whatever we expected at a certain time or place. And we're releasing those expectations, and we are coming out of a place of being within, and now we are ready to jump out and start over. So, that feels like very welcome energy for us. Absolutely. I think we've all been waiting for this opportunity. So, thank you, cards. Thank you, Moon. And thank y'all. Thank you for being here. We will do this again. I mentioned at the beginning. We'll do this again next week. We'll reflect on these cards. We will check in on what is actually showing up with the first quarter moon, and we'll pull some more cards. We'll continue this narrative, see how it is growing. Yeah, woo and phew. Absolutely. Like, whoo. Yeah. You can't really like speak that sound. You have to like make the sound. You have to like, woo. All right, y'all. Enjoy this new moon. Thank you so much for being here and for participating and sharing with us. If you enjoyed this, please like this video, please share it. If you are able, I welcome donations. There's a button on my website, which is in my bio. And I'll see y'all in a week. Happy new moon. Happy planets direct. Happy movement. Woo! Yeah. All those sounds are correct. All right, y'all. See you next week.